Mr. Kansas. The gentleman from California, Mr. McCarthy. The gentleman from Oregon, Mr. Walton. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Langford. The gentlewoman from Kansas, Ms. Jenkins. The gentlewoman from North Carolina, Ms. Fox. The gentlewoman from California, Ms. Pelosi. The gentleman from Maryland, Mr. Hoyer. The gentleman from South Carolina, Mr. Clyburn. The gentleman from California, Mr. Becerra. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Crowley. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Israel. And the gentlewoman from Connecticut, Ms. DeLauro.
The President of the Senate, at the direction of that body, appoints the following senators as members of the Committee on the part of the Senate to escort the President of the United States into the House chamber. The Senator from Nevada, Mr. Reid. The Senator from Illinois, Mr. Durbin. The Senator from New York, Mr. Schumer. The Senator from Washington, Ms. Murray. The Senator from Colorado, Mr. Bennett. The Senator from Michigan, Ms. Stabenow. The Senator from Alaska, Mr. Begich. The Senator from Kentucky, Mr. McConnell. The Senator from Texas, Mr. Cornyn. The Senator from South Dakota, Mr. Thune. The Senator from Missouri, Mr. Blunt. And the Senator from Wyoming, Mr. Barrasso.
The members of the Escort Committee will exit through the chamber doors through the lobby.
Associate Justices of the Supreme Court. Cabinet.
President of the United States.
I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you the President of the United States. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, my fellow Americans. Today in America, a teacher spent extra time with a student who needed it and did her part to lift America's graduation rate to its highest levels in more than 3 decades. An entrepreneur flipped on the lights in her tech startup and did her part to add to the more than 8 million new jobs our businesses have created over the past 4 years. Fine-tuned some of the best, most fuel-efficient cars in the world and did his part to help America wean itself off foreign oil. A farmer prepared for the spring after the strongest 5-year stretch of farm exports in our history. A rural doctor gave a young child the first prescription to treat asthma that his mother could afford. Bone-tired, dreaming big dreams for his son. And in tight-knit communities all across America, fathers and mothers will tuck in their kids, put an arm around their spouse, remember fallen comrades, and give thanks for being home from a war that after 12 long years is finally coming to an end. Speaks with one voice to the people we represent. It is you, our citizens, who make the state of our union strong. The lowest unemployment rate in over 5 years, a rebounding housing market, a manufacturing sector that's adding jobs for the first time since the 1990s, more oil produced at home than we buy from the rest of the world, the first time that's happened in nearly 20 years. Cut by more than half. And for the first time in over a decade, business leaders around the world have declared that China is no longer the world's #1 place to invest. America is. That's why I believe this can be a breakthrough year for America. After 5 years of grit and determined effort, the United States is better positioned for the 21st century than any other nation on earth. The question is progress. For several years now, this town has been consumed by argument over the proper size of the federal government. It's an important debate, one that dates back to our very founding. But when that debate prevents us from carrying out even the most basic functions of our democracy, when our differences shut down government or threaten the full faith and credit of the United States, then we are not doing right by the American people.